My name is Neil Glover. I'm a parish minister just outside Glasgow in Flemington Hallside Church, and I convene the Church of Scotland's Ministries Council. The Ministries Council has responsibility for enabling ministry in every part of Scotland and beyond. What this means is that we recruit, we train and we support ministers in a whole variety of different ministries. There are 780 parish ministers. There are about 120 ministries development staff, including many deacons. There are 100 auxiliary ministers and ordained local ministers. There are 300 readers and 100 staff are employed through the Church of Scotland's Go For It fund. The Ministries Council has responsibility for all of those deployments. It must work in partnership with presbyteries to work out the best way of deploying ministries. It has partnerships with the GK Experience, which works with young people, Faith and Community Scotland, Weevolution, Workplace Chaplaincy. A key priority for us is our work amongst the poorest and most marginalised people in Scotland. There are 65 priority area parishes across the country where the Church of Scotland has placed additional resource to work with people going through the challenges of economic marginalisation. And what we discover is that in those places, the gospel is alive and speaks to us in new ways. A huge challenge for us is the future of the church, of working out new ways to be church, to plant church. And in this year's report also, we begin to ask questions about should there be youth ministers to work with our youngest people. At this year's assembly, we've got a number of key ideas that we're going to bring to the assembly. Firstly, we're going to be asking the question, what is ministry? Sometimes we shy away from that question. It seems too difficult to get a handle on. And yet we find that if we don't attempt to answer that question with some sort of clarity, all sorts of confusion and difficulty arises in different parts of the church's life. At last year's assembly, there were lots of questions about hubs. The idea of ministers being deployed across a wide number of churches. This is increasingly becoming an issue in the church as the number of ministers declines, but the number of congregations declines far more slowly. So how are ministers to be deployed across wider areas? That's another key question for us. We also begin to ask questions about pioneer ministry and how we deploy in new ways to connect with Scotland's widely diverse and changing culture. These are some of the big issues that we'll be bringing to this year's assembly.